Greetings once again, and welcome to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel. So I produced a short on this topic, but I think it's so important that I'm going to talk about it for a while. So this is probably not going to just be a few minutes, but maybe a little longer. So, if you take a look at the mainstream math establishment, they're not much different from those idiot supporters of Donald Trump. So in what sense aren't they different? Well, these idiots here believe in the cult of ZFC, and this moron with a MAGA hat believes in the cult of Donald Trump and all his fellow morons. So they're both actually part of two different cults. And of course, a cult is not a scientific organization. It is a group of people who believe in certain things. And in my opinion, belief has no place in mathematics or any other field of rational thought. We cannot believe things. We cannot have 9 ZFC beliefs. Okay, they're all beliefs and they're all provably bullshit. And from the very first one, in fact. But what they'll tell you is that irrational numbers cannot be expressed in the form of P over Q, where P over Q are integers. Yes? Excuse me. Then they'll tell you that pi, which they've never understood, by the way, they have no idea that pi is just a constant and that it doesn't actually exist. Even as a number, it doesn't exist. Okay. There's no number pi. Newsflash. Let me say that slowly. There is no number pi. Now, don't write in my comment section that there is a number pi and that you know better. You're a fucking moron, and I'm not interested in that. And if you do, I'll block you. Don't do that. Okay? Don't. Just don't. As Biden says, don't. Now, moron, listen to me. When you say pi is equal to this, what you're saying is that pi is in fact a rational number, you idiot. It doesn't matter that the digits don't repeat and they don't terminate. That's just a property of a number or a magnitude that cannot be measured. Okay, so any magnitude that any ratio that doesn't have a measure will have this property. Not just pi. Square root 2 has it, e has it. They're not numbers, you incorrigibly stupid baboons. Okay, let me explain to you. Look, pi is a failed measure. Okay, it's a failed measure of circle circumference to diameter. Okay, that means something like this, approximately. Okay, these are not numbers, they're magnitudes, they're line segments. Okay, so when you try to measure the circle circumference with a diameter, it doesn't matter. It results in this constant. So it doesn't matter what circle you use. The diameter acts as a unit. And if you had even 3 brain cells, you'd immediately realize the concept of the abstract unit. Okay, because the diameter acts as the abstract unit. You morons. You deserve to be called that because you don't think for yourselves. I mean, I have people on my channel telling me, why should I trust you? Well, you should never trust anybody, you shitful brains fools. You should prove to yourselves that these things are true. Why would you trust anybody? Trust is not necessary in science or mathematics or any field of rational thought. There is no safety in numbers, you baboons. There is no safety in academia or the establishment. The only certainty that you can be assured of is understanding. And unless you understand, you should never trust or believe in anything. So they'll tell you on the one hand that you can't express it as P over Q. Then immediately they'll say it's equal to this. But if it's equal to this, the problem is that is always in the form P over Q. By mathematical induction, I can prove it. You fucking idiots. Grow a brain, you peanut brain turds. especially you math professors. I would piss and shit in your faces. That's how stupid you are, and that's how much I dismiss you. And the same goes for you math teachers. Don't come on my channel writing you have a PhD. I piss and shit on your PhD. Who the fuck are you, you idiot? I'm far more intelligent than you'll ever be. Don't write that on my channel. Go fuck yourself. Listen, idiot. Simple logic tells us that by induction, this is always, always a rational number. But we're able to prove that P, that's the way you say it in Greek, P has no measure. Okay, it doesn't have a measure. It's not a number. Okay, so somehow you're expected to believe that somewhere over infinity, this here becomes irrational. And of course, irrational number is an oxymoron, you dimwits, because by definition, a number implies rationality and vice versa. Understand that. Get a brain. Kerry Solow, uh, Gilbert Strang, Jack Hasinger, Marcus Cliver, Jean-Pierre Massager, all those fucking retard fools who've crossed my path. Get a brain. This is for you. I'm addressing you in this video because you're idiots. There is no such thing as an infinite decimal expansion or anything infinite. Let me ask you, you idiots, when does this become unique? When does it become unique? The answer is never. Stupid fools. It never becomes unique because it can't be done. That's the thing about your bullshit concept of infinity. It can't be done. Do you understand that? You can't just believe that somehow, boom, uh, somewhere along the line it's actually possible. It's not possible. Infinity means, according to the original definition, something that cannot be done. If it could be done, then it's not infinity, is it? My word, you're incorrigibly stupid people. Okay, so the baboons who brainwash you will produce all sorts of hand-waving arguments involving limits, real analysis, that bullshit subject about a non-existent mathematical object called a real number. And of course, it doesn't exist as a well-formed concept. And all the results in the theorems have zero to do with real numbers, but use rational numbers, with rational being redundant, to arrive at the said conclusions. Neither Dedekind nor Cauchy could well define a real number. Now, stop and sit up straight, because I'm about to tell you something you need to think about all the time. If this were possible, the ancient Greeks would have done it, you fucking idiots. They were far smarter than any of you, far smarter than any who came before them or after them. Who the hell are you, zero IQ robots, to say that you have formulated, you have well-defined real number? Listen, you will do this. You will download this article on Dedekind cuts to see that everything you've learned about Dedekind cuts and Cauchy sequences is a load of crap. You'll also download This Is the Real Number Real, because you don't understand what is a number line. Yes, you see, that is one of the surprising things. I've never come across an idiot mathematics professor who even understands what is a number line. You don't just get to talk about a number line as being a collection of points, you infinite fucking morons. A point has no size or dimension. How do you have a correspondence between every real number and a point? Listen, idiots. To reify a point involves accomplishing all of the following: constructing line segments, assigning the markers, as in calibration, and providing a measure for each marker. That means a number. Do you get that? Okay, so you need a number for every point. You can't do that. You can reify an integer number line and part of a rational number line. You can't reify all rational numbers, obviously, only those that you choose, because there are innumerably many. And the same thing with an integer line. You can only refi a subset of it, right? So this article is great, and there's also another one explaining to you that there is no such thing as a real number line. Okay, it's a total bullshit concept. And get this, your entire mathematics is based on the understanding of number through the real number line. You don't know what is a number. The majority of you don't have a clue. You don't even have a definition for number. In fact, you don't even have a definition for the base object of your set theory ZFC crap. You don't have a definition for set. All you do is believe in the 9 baboon claims by the idiots who came in the last 200 years. Okay. So you will download all these articles and you will study them one by one, slowly. Okay. Stopping to think what these things mean, because most of you suffer from Dunning-Kruger. In fact, the majority of you do. Your self-image is far out of touch with reality. You're bumbling idiots. Okay, so it hurts my eyes when I read the utter nonsense written by math PhDs or other researchers on their driveling opinions of the ancient Greeks. Listen, you don't get to critique the ancient Greeks until you understand their works. It's like an orangutan critiquing a human. If you're a math professor, shut your sewer mouth, you idiot. First try to understand the ancient Greek works. You've never understood even Euclid's elements. You don't even have a definition for number, you peanut brain. There are no axioms or postulates in sound mathematics. That is a lie that has been propagated by the idiots of the last 200 years, those who belong to your religion of ZFC, and the crap which was handed down to you by Cantor and his minions, David Hilbert, Frege, all those baboons. Okay? Look, if you accept this bullshit, then you're no doubt a moron. And there is no hope for you, because the fucking idiots of the last 200 years abandoned the real foundation of mathematics for the drivel of a mentally ill Jew called George Cantor and his deluded followers. You owe it to your children, at least, because they're an extension of the moronic you. Do you want them to carry on being as stupid as you? Or do you want them to actually succeed? Do you want them to understand and love mathematics? You cannot love mathematics unless you understand it. If you take these disgusting looking, filthy creatures, Gilbert Strang and his colleague from MIT, and this little shit here who probably doesn't even know how to wash his ass properly, and his fellow little morons, you're going to end up being the same as they are. Okay. You're not going to be able to understand mathematics. You're going to hate it, because normally that's the psychology of learning. If somebody is presented with something they don't understand, they develop a dislike for it, and eventually that dislike turns into hate, and they just simply cannot do it anymore. But if you learn the way I'm telling you and you understand, there is only one possibility that will follow on that. What's that? That you will master mathematics, that you will become good at it, and that you will actually enjoy researching mathematics. Okay? So, that's all I have to say. If you're not a rare subscriber, please become one. I have many, many enemies, and it's a shame, because I am the greatest mathematician today. Maybe not of all time. I'd say Archimedes was better than me, but I doubt anybody else was. You're shooting yourself in the eye if you disregard what I'm telling you. I'm not asking you to trust me. Trust is not part of mathematics. I'm not asking you to believe me, because belief is also not part of mathematics, unless you're one of these idiots. Okay, one of these idiots. Then you need belief. But what I'm telling you, you don't need belief. You don't need trust. You don't need reliability, because all those things are what you've been brainwashed to believe are necessary. Okay, that's all garbage. All you need is common sense and reason. That's what you need. So become a subscriber, click like, tell your friends about this, tell your parents, tell your teachers, tell your professors, tell your classmates. Follow me on academia.edu. I'll place links to these important articles, which will keep you busy for quite a while. Till next time, I'm John Gabriel. This is a New Calculus Channel. Goodbye.